Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. Little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia. That's my buddy Snark, who is advertising himself today as the local dummy, I noticed.
The local dummy? Who put that? What? This is an outrage.
It is indeed. Snark, how you doing today?
I'm fine. Someone's calling me a local dummy, but that's fine. You know what? I'll get over it. I'm fine. Interesting last couple of weeks we've been off.
Yep.
I was traveling for one, then we had the FA Cup ties happen, which were, you know what? Who cares? Is Chelsea in it? No. So who cares? Doesn't really matter.
There's Arsenal, so.
I was going to say, there's another team. I can't remember which one that didn't make it. So we're back and we got some live stuff. We got transfer window closing. Some interesting moves made. A couple of bucks splashed around. You know what I mean?
I wonder by who.
There was lots of people. Maybe one team.
A little bit more than the others.
A little bit more than the others. But so I guess we could start with the good old, the Pride of London, Chelsea, getting their guy, a guy they've had their eyes set on and wouldn't take no for an answer. And even when we matched the price that they wanted, they still wouldn't give it up. But Enzo Fernandez is a Chelsea man, made his debut last weekend, played the entire game. We'll talk about that in a bit. It was a very interesting transfer, just the way it ended. Basically, coming in at the last minute, there was reports of the plane and stuff like that, and they would get daily reports of, like, having to hold the plane. And the Chelsea medical staff was there, and there was people reporting that they were willing to do all the medical tests on the plane and all this stuff. It was like, guys, relax. There's lots of time. There was already personal agreements, like the salaries and stuff like that. The money thing was already worked out long before. So it was just a matter of just getting to a local doctor, whatever, just get the paperwork signed off on and get him the heck out of Portugal. But it's done. It's a really big need for Chelsea in the midfield. Of course, maybe not the most glaring need. We still don't have anybody to actually put the ball in the goddamn net, and I will be bringing that up in a minute as well. But join a hell of a window for Chelsea, setting themselves up for the next almost 10 years worth of players with Mudryk, with Badia Shield, who's been so impressive, I think. Joe Felix, we're going to finally get to see what he can do maybe for an entire game next week, unless he puts his studs up again for whatever reason. Andre Santos from Brazil, who's was the captain of the under-21 team for Brazil, and he's looking very good. We finally have someone to back up Reece James now in Gusto, but we kept him over in France till the end of the year, which is fine. Turns out, I think there's about 77 players in Chelsea right now. Couldn't get rid of any. We almost got rid of one. Almost. We had a deal in place to get Hakim Ziyech over to Paris.
Oh, they screwed that up so badly.
I guess when you have everybody who counts in Portugal, they just leave to one of the cleaners or something like that to do up the rest of the paperwork over in Cobham, and forgot to send something in and screwed up Ziyech's transfer, and of course there's
Yeah.
reports to the press over there. Oh, he's so super angry. What's he gonna do? He started for Chelsea the next game and was his usual whatever self. It didn't matter. Uh,
Mhm.
he tried crossing it in, but crossed it into who? But we'll talk about that. Let's talk about, speaking of midfield, this time leaving Chelsea and
Mhm.
looks very bizarre in a red shirt. Jorginho
Yeah.
is now an Arsenal man. What did you think? What were your thoughts when you heard Jorginho, who I've criticized on this program almost every single week, is going to go to Arsenal?
I'm actually okay with it. I don't think he's going to play a
No,
ton.
no.
He's sort of there for cover because El Neni is now injured. He has a knee injury. He's not there to back up Thomas Partey. We sent Sambi Lakonga out on loan because he's just not developing because Partey plays all the time.
Gotta get
And
minutes.
he has to get some minutes. So we sent him on loan to Crystal Palace. We needed backup for Partey. I'm fine with Jorginho. It's not a long contract. It wasn't a ton of money. It wasn't like some break the bank kind of deal. So I'm
12
fine
million
with it.
pounds for 5 months. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's you don't have any commitment past this, and he can go back to Italy, or he can go to one of the smaller clubs in France or something like that, and he'll be
Yeah.
fine. Him and odd odd penalty kick step. I think that's the last we'll see of that
Yeah, I
penalty
don't
kick
see him
window.
taking a penalty for Arsenal
I think
ever.
there's guys. I think there's guys in the picking order over
Guys ahead of him
Jorginho.
for sure.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sure they're unless they get him off the bench in the playoffs, or there's nothing to run for unless they're still in the Champions League. There's no reason to ever have him kick a penalty
Yeah, the
for
only
Arsenal. So
time I could see him taking a penalty kick is if we end up in a penalty shootout in the Europa League. That's
yeah,
it.
it'll be like the eighth round or something like that.
Yeah.
It'll be further up. I just looking at him in that shirt, I kind of snickered. He did not. It just didn't look natural. It looked unnatural. And they were, I guess they were interviewing Cucurella for some website thing or whatever, and they asked him who the
Hmm.
smartest guy on the team was, and he's talked about Jorginho, and he keeps going off about it. And the camera guy had to go. Yeah, he left this morning. Cucurella was like, what?
That's funny.
Way to pay
That's
attention,
very funny.
Mark Cucurella. Here's a weird thing that happened. João Cancelo gets booted to Bayern in the
Hmm.
morning of the transfer window for just a loan because he pissed off Pep Guardiola, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, he said enough. You know, uh, some teams the players run the program. Certainly not in City. City has their own problems, but we're going to talk about that
Yeah.
a little later. It's like good riddance. When I think of João Cancelo, I'll always think of that bad challenge he went up against Salah for, and that lost to Liverpool and got left in the dust. Just him running up and Salah going right past him. Too funny. Uh, yeah, and they had this 18-year-old kid who's filled in for him pretty well.
Yeah.
What do you need João Cancelo for in
The
his
kid's done
problem?
pretty good for
Yeah,
City.
Fox or whatever his name.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his name, but he's done pretty good. So yeah, I honestly don't care about Joao Cancelo going to Bayern. Like,
No,
no,
I just thought it
no
was funny.
issues.
I just thought it was funny.
It
It's
is
like,
it is very funny though
you
that
piss off the
piss
boss.
piss off the boss. Bye. You're in Germany now.
Yeah, all right, bye. Have a schnitzel on us. All right, let's talk some games. So,
Okay.
uh, the first game is on the Friday. Of course, it's Chelsea getting a chance to take Fulham on again with a bunch of the new players. And so, in the lineup, starting, Mudryk in the lineup starting, uh, but he put him on a side with Mason Mount and Mark Cucurella for some reason, and he never touched the ball. Those two just don't
Yeah.
like. Mount has forgotten how to space. He just eats up space. Cucurella can't put a ball to anybody's feet. It's that whole side's embarrassing. but looks like it's going to change. Ben Chilwell looks like he's back. He played a little bit. He came in to sub for Kukurea. He should take a spot now. That's Chilwell's spot. Mason Mount's probably going to be left out of the starting 11 for the foreseeable future. We're going to have Kova come back, so it'll be midfield currently. That would be Kova and Enzo. So I think they're playing a 4-2-3, 4-2-3-1. So at some point, though, Kova's going to lose the spot if N'Golo Conte can ever get better. So with an N'Golo Conte Enzo midfield, looks pretty remarkable. And the back four has come together since Badiashile has come in for Koulibaly. They haven't let in a goal. They've kept 3 straight clean sheets. They've been worthy defensively, but they can't fucking score. No one can score. It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's time for Havertz to be replaced. We never selected a striker to take, but we have signed this guy Didi Fofana, and he came in with about 15 minutes left, and the pace of the team, the look of the team, completely different. As Kai Havertz is so reluctant to take on challengers, to take on defenders, he goes away from play, and we have to play that cross game and try and get a cross in and then header it or whatever. Fofana will attack. Fofana will go right at you, and he's a big, strong man. And I think it's what we've desperately been lacking. He's just, his only professional experience has been in Norway or something like that.
Yeah, so, Norway.
We'll give him minutes like this. But yeah, with Havertz, I don't see a way forward with him at the 10. I would think maybe João Felix or somebody would take that spot, or maybe have him drop back. We'll see. There's not spoiled for choice, Graham Potter. There's players there now, and Mudryk was sick, had to go off after 45 minutes. Everybody was complaining about it. Like, guys, Kukurea and Mount couldn't get them the ball because they can't play football very well right now. There's just something about them that's just shut down their brains. So yeah, we'll see. No score though. Chelsea 2 goals in their last 6 matches. 2 frigging goals. Oh my god.
It's incredible to me that you guys have spent as much money as Chelsea has spent in this season alone, and you have no one to score you goals.
It's not without choice. Like Havertz hitting the crossbar and but with that weird look, and he always looks like like you said, he looks like Bambi on ice. He has that kind of is he going to stay up? Is he going to stay up? He just doesn't look strong. He does not look strong at all. So I know João Felix, when he was on for those 60 minutes against Fulham 3 weeks ago, looked impressive. So we'll see. Maybe we have someone that can score goals. He just hasn't been able to get on the pitch, but we'll see. But let's move on to Saturdays and shock result of the week.
It is a result that you would not have expected to happen, but I'm also not surprised that it happened.
Right. Arsenal goes down 1-0.
Yeah.
The Merseyside. Well, good debut for Sean Dyche, I guess.
Yeah, good debut for Sean Dyche at Everton. Everton looked a very different team than they did under Lampard. And, I mean, you knew that was going to happen because Sean Dyche is going to come in there and change the way they're playing. They got a header. It went in. We couldn't find the back of the net. I'm not surprised.
Tarkowski just out-muscled Odegaard. Odegaard was right there.
Odegaard didn't have a good game.
No. And Tarkowski just went right through him. He saw where he wanted to go, and he just went there.
I've kind of been waiting for one of these kind of games, and I figured Everton with the new manager bounce and all of that you could tend to get, especially Everton. They said something on the broadcast like the last 4 Everton managers have all won their home debuts. So
Yeah,
I
were
was
they
not
playing
shocked
someone
at this.
the caliber of the quality of an Arsenal? Probably not. But
I don't know
yeah,
who they were playing, but I've also kind of been waiting for us to have one of those games where we couldn't quite get it done, and that was this past weekend. I was more upset about this before a result on the late game on Sunday, and then now I'm not as upset about it anymore.
I was going to mention that when we got there. But yes, of course. Now you were doing a watch along with this, and you looked very tired. So
Yes, I.
I couldn't see the second half live, so because I had
Mhm.
to get back to work. So I imagine when I saw that the Everton had gone up, it's like, oh no. I wonder if Adelia thinks she's asleep and this is all some horrible, horrible dream. She's
No,
gonna
I
wake
knew
up and
I was awake.
think everything's fine.
Yeah, it was the early game on Saturday, so Matt and I stayed up all night and did a watch along on his channel for the game. Of course, I fell asleep and missed the first 10 minutes of the game. Because I remember it being like 6:20 and then it being 6:40 and Matt's live and I'm in StreamYard and I'm just not on screen. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? But yeah, I don't like the early games. I feel like every time we play one of those noon kickoffs, we tend to not get the result that we were hoping for. It doesn't always go that way. Sometimes it does. This one, I'm just not like it's done. It's over with. Arteta will, yell at
Yeah.
them about his performance and move on.
In hockey terms, they don't watch they won't be watching the replay of this. This is the one
No,
they just garbage. It's like, okay, yeah, if we get over
yeah,
it. This
it
isn't
it
who we
wasn't
are.
great.
This isn't who we are. We'll move on. Good for them
Yeah,
for jumping on them when they had the chance, I guess. Yeah, big win for Sean Dyche. Good, welcome back to the Premiership. The
I
next
mean that's a
game,
stretch. I don't like Sean Dyche. That's a stretch.
yeah. Uh, wasn't he teaching? Wasn't he doing like TED Talks or
I
something?
don't know
So
what he
strange.
was doing.
So strange.
Masterclass on. I saw a video that
Right.
popped up in my YouTube feed today. Recommending me a Sean Dyche masterclass on the history of the 442. I'm like, no,
Right. That's
I wouldn't want to
exactly what I
learn
was
that
thinking.
from Sean fucking Dyche.
Okay. Brentford win 3-0 over Southampton. That's not really what you have to say.
Yeah,
There was no fight. There's no fight in
yeah.
Southampton. Here's a,
Southampton are probably going down.
oh yeah, for sure. Uh, here's a interesting result. Villa loses to Leicester 4-2 at home,
Hmm.
and it ends a pretty good run. Unai Emery had Villa playing pretty well, and
Yeah,
they had the
they had
lead.
a
They had the lead twice.
they
They
had a
dropped it.
thing on the broadcast on NBC here that if you had started the season after it was either November 1st or after the World Cup break, Villa would be in third.
Yeah.
So they've been
Uh,
on a great run, but Leicester just outplayed them.
yep. Well, yeah. Well, defensively, they couldn't clear anything. They were terrible. They were
Yeah.
terrible inside their own box, and Martinez was bad. He was
Yeah, Martina Emmy
awful.
had a bad game.
Yeah. 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 You know he can play better.
Yeah.
I think he has a trophy somewhere to prove it. But
Something like that.
right. Yeah, just poor unorganized play inside their own box, and it cost them. Uh, but good for Leicester. Foxes need their points too. Uh,
Yeah.
Brighton managed to get only one against Bournemouth, but that's all they needed.
Yeah. There's not much to say about that game either.
No, Bournemouth had their chances. They just can't finish.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bournemouth also
oh,
looks like they're going down.
well, yeah. One thing I will say is that Matoma, since the World Cup, has been pretty remarkable as
He's
well.
been great.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching him play. So it makes me
I
sick.
think Matoma is one of the reasons they let us sign Trossard because
I would imagine. I would imagine so. They have not lost any steam without him. They
yeah,
seem to be even pressing more forward. Just didn't get any finish really, except for the one which they needed and they got. And that's all they had to do. Uh,
yeah.
okay. We'll talk Man U and Crystal Palace here. Uh, And what's a United game without a goal by Marcus Rashford? Happens to be the winner.
Happens to be everything that they're doing right now is Marcus Rashford. He gets injured, they're in some trouble.
They're in a lot of trouble. How about Casemiro?
Casemiro choking someone and then looks surprised to get a red card for it.
How did it have to go to VAR?
Yeah, like, what? Did the ref just completely not see that? Because it was sort of a group of players coming together then, but did the ref just completely not see that Casemiro was choking Hughes?
I think he's even wearing gloves, or like he's OJ Simpson.
Yeah. Like,
unbelievable.
how do you miss that?
And he just got back from a banning. That was his first game back from
he
a
just
ban.
got back because he
Now
missed the Arsenal game. Now he's gone for 3 games.
Dumb.
He can't like say, "Oh, this is mistaken identity," or "This is not fair," or anything like that. This is clear
if the
violent.
glove
You are
don't fit,
choking
you must have quit.
someone.
Adelia, it's in the law.
The gloves are around Will Hughes' neck. There's video evidence of this.
Yeah, unbelievable. Okay. Not smart. It wasn't smart.
No, it's not smart. No.
Yeah, who does that? Who thinks that's okay to do? Unbelievable.
Yeah. Great flick on by the Palace player for their goal.
Yikes. Yeah, fantastic. Of course, it's they needed another one.
It was amusing to me. They were talking about so much about how De Gea is close to equaling Peter Schmeichel's shutout record for Man United, and then he gets beaten by that goal.
It's the thing, you never talk about shutouts. If announcers talk shutouts, things go in. That's how it always happens. It's a curse.
Yeah.
They don't like to believe it, but it happens, and it is a 100% curse. Speaking of curses, I don't know. I don't think they're cursed. Wolves 3, Liverpool 0.
What is happening to Liverpool?
Good. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Listen, Wolves 100% deserve this bit of revenge over that horse shit that cost them a berth in the next round of the FA Cup.
Absolutely.
Horse shit. And this time they made sure they didn't leave it up to any goddamn VARs, anything like that. They just outworked them, outscored them. A couple, Liverpool had a couple of chances. Nunez had a good chance and decided to put it right into the goalie for some reason. Whatever. But yeah,
is not very good.
But he did cost a lot of money.
He did. That does not make you very good.
Yeah, I know. I get worried about all the money, and then thinking, oh my gosh, let's hope it doesn't. I keep thinking about Chelsea, and that's all I keep thinking about. All the money changing hands. But Nunez, and he's so big. He looks so strong. Just doesn't think. Like, I don't know. Like he just gets into the box and the brain starts shutting down, and I don't get it. That first goal was a bit of a fluke, though. But it's one of those ones you'll take. It looked odd when it happened or whatever, going in off the Liverpool guy and barely over the line, and then kicked in, I guess, a little bit by the Liverpool guy after. It was already over the line, so it didn't matter. But Craig Dawson coming in for his debut with Wolves, and that shot he got off inside the box was an absolute friggin' rocket that goes underneath the bar. And when I saw that, I was like, oh. And so, yeah, Liverpool down 2, 12 minutes in, and they showed nothing. They showed no fight. Like, where is Liverpool? And how is Klopp's job safe? Like, Klopp's running like...
Yeah. I don't know how Klopp...
Like, is he married to what's-his-name's sister? Like, what's happening here? This is bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is bananas.
It is. It's very strange to see Liverpool like this after the way they've been for the past few years. I mean, they lost Mane, but I didn't think that was everything to them. But maybe it was. Van Dijk's didn't play in this game. I didn't know why. They do not look good at all.
They look terrible. They look terrible. They look lost. They look like they've been broken. Like, it looks like everybody figured out Liverpool. Well, except Chelsea, because Chelsea can't score against them. See the previous week's matches. But yeah, Liverpool isn't scoring. It seems like when a team applies themselves, they can't keep people from scoring. They don't pressure. I think they're relying too much on counter-attacking football because they have speed on their wings, but they have no finish. Their guys are having no finish, and Salah can't do it all by himself. And you just put a couple guys on Salah, and you shut him down. That's why you can leave a guy like Nunez open for those runs, because what's he gonna do? He goes right at the goalie. He didn't try to move, didn't try and do anything to him. Just came right at him on a corner, and it was a bad angle that he took, and that's the results you get. No goals for Liverpool. Another loss. Now Chelsea has finally jumped a team in the standings. Chelsea with that are now in 9th. Liverpool in 10th. Thank goodness for that. So there's some upward trajectory here for Chelsea. Hopefully.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of work to get into even the 5th spot. I think we're 9 points out as the week ends. But the next game, sure. Newcastle and West Ham, another interesting game.
This was an interesting game.
Yeah.
Newcastle got off to one hell of a start. Looked like Joe Willock had scored, 30 seconds in? But
looked like it.
The ball was out, so he hadn't.
They
restart, and then Callum Wilson scores the 2-minute mark.
A minute later. Like basically from the reset, the ball goes down and they go right back up.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I thought it was out, no problem. And of course they do the angles and stuff. And there's that weird thing now where it's like the circumference. It doesn't matter if a part of the ball is touching as long as it's even over it because of the circumference of the ball and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It still looked out. It still looked out to me. So I don't have a problem with it. But then they seem just to take their foot off the gas. There was nothing out of them. And West Ham, to their credit, said, okay, if you don't want to play, we'll play. And Paqueta gets in, and not against the run of play. Like they put pressure on. And they get their goal.
West Ham were pretty good.
Yeah, right. It took about 20 minutes or so, 22 minutes for them to start getting really involved in the game. But then I think they took over the rest of the half. They get their goal. And they start off the second half pretty well, again, in control and stuff like that. Nothing happened in the second half. It ends in a 1-1 draw. But yeah, I thought West Ham looked better. Newcastle looked shaky. They haven't looked the same club that they did before the World Cup. They've looked okay since the World Cup. But yeah, they just like Almiron and stuff like that. I want to see the first half, or like the first half of this season's Almiron. Like seems to have disappeared. I don't know if it's a nagging injury.
I don't know what it is. They were talking too about how they sold Chris Wood.
Yeah.
And they really have no one to bring off the bench.
They go and get Anthony from
Anthony Gordon.
Gordon from Brighton.
Everton.
Everton. Guy that Chelsea wanted to get for £60 million. Back in the summer, they wanted to give $60 million to Everton for this guy. So I took an interest with those first games in August. Let's say, let's see what this guy does. And I didn't see much. At all. So I was thinking, $60 million. They didn't go through with it. They wouldn't accept $60 million, which would have been an incredible amount for that player.
Yeah.
Here comes the January transfer window, and Newcastle ponies up to them for 45. So if you were hoping to have Gordon around to not get you relegated, congratulations, didn't work. If you wanted £60 million for that guy, congratulations, that didn't work. You have to take £15 million less. And to be fair, Gordon looked fine in the Newcastle shirt. I thought when he came on, they looked a lot stronger. I thought he was pretty fast. His passing was right on. Like I thought, could get the balls where they were supposed to go. Nobody would do anything with him, but he looked fiery. He looked really excited to be there. Of course, all for nothing. It ends in a draw. But I just think that's funny. £15 million less to go to Newcastle. Oh well.
Yeah.
That's why Everton is where they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Forest beats Leeds 1-0. And now there's a couple stories. First of all, we've talked about him before, but Brendan Johnson gets the goal. And ever since that Chelsea match, I've had my eye on Brendan Johnson, and he has not disappointed. He's been terrific. Gets a great goal, uh, ends up the winner. Okay, this is what Forest do. They win at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they. I don't think they're in. I don't. I think they're in like 13th or something like that. No, they've like. Of course, they're close to the
Yeah, they're
relegation.
13th.
Yeah, they're close to the relegation zone. I think between 17 or 18 and 12 or something like that. I think it's a difference of 4 points or something like that. Everything's pretty tight.
Yeah, they're 6 points out of 18th.
Yeah. Now, I was wondering, was one of the first transactions to happen on deadline day was they went and got Navas from PSG,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that Henderson had been playing pretty well. Like he's had, like I said, he's had some real bad games where he lets in 4 goals, but he's had clean sheets where he should have given up 4 goals. But I guess he's had some kind of thigh injury. Anyways, Navas comes in, earned the clean sheet. I thought. I thought Leeds didn't, just didn't swallow it. They tried to get back into it. They just couldn't manage.
Yeah.
Speaking of manage, they
Bye
sacked
bye, Jesse Marsh.
They sacked Jesse Marsh just after getting yet another American onto the squad.
Yeah.
When I say yet another, I think that makes 3, but I think that's the most in the Premiership for sure. Getting Weston McKennie over from Juventus, and yeah, they're just out of relegation by goal differential. They're not looking good. I'm not sure who they said they've had their eye on, but they sacked his entire squad. Like he sacked his whole team. Like there's nobody left.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to run training, but
I don't either. Yeah.
They haven't won in 7 matches. They've lost all 7. I think he said in the 37 matches, like it was almost exactly 1 year that he's been in charge there. He saved them from a relegation last year. But yeah, he's won 11 matches out of the 37 he's been in charge for. Of course, one of them being against Chelsea. Thank you, Edouard Mendy. Ugh, I'll never forget that goddamn play he made. Terrible. Now, one last match, and it was an interesting match between 2 teams I can't stand. So it's Tottenham versus City, and Tottenham's having the run of the ball and stuff like that, but just one careless play, one giveaway, it goes up into the box, and there's Harry Kane to score his 267th goal in a Spuds shirt. And I think he's also.
I think that was also his 200th Premier League goal.
Yeah, it's his 200th Premier League goal, and I think that makes him the 5th. I think that might be the 5th player to get 200 goals in the Premier League.
I don't know. He's Tottenham's all-time leading scorer now.
Yeah, that and $2.65 gets you an extra large black coffee. I can tell you that. Who cares? Erling Haaland didn't touch the ball in the box the entire game. They aren't getting him the ball.
He has not looked the same since the season resumed.
He is looking very upset. So I don't know if you can go a few ways. Like, is he not getting along with guys in the room and they aren't getting him the ball? He seems to be working. He doesn't seem to be having his head down and stuff like that. He seems to be working.
He definitely seems to be trying.
Yeah.
To get into good positions and stuff.
They
it's
can't
just
get on
the
the ball.
Ball's not coming to him.
One problem being Kevin De Bruyne has looked like garbage. But that's why he's coming off the bench now. And like they have Jack Grealish, who looked fine. Jack Grealish was fouled all game. And I think they handed out 1 yellow card. 1. I think that the officiating heavily favored the home team yet again.
Was that the yellow card that Romero got that got him sent off?
Yeah. I think they're okay. So there's a couple of chances where they could have called handball. The one where the guy's standing up, I think it's correct call. It's a no call. He didn't look like his arm was in an unnatural position, and it looked like the
Mhm.
ball just went there. It was within 2 feet or something like that. There's no way he could have moved. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that not being a call. Now,
Yeah.
the other one was the guy's hand was down on the ground, and the ball hit his arm, and they said that isn't a handball. I know that they've called that a handball, so I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
happened against Chelsea.
I'm pretty sure that that's been called a handball this season, but
Yeah,
apparently
this year. This year. There's
this was
precedent
not a.
from this year.
Yeah, apparently not.
Unbelievable.
Apparently not on Sunday in North London though.
No. So, but as results go, for you, that's as good as you could have hoped for.
That's it. Like I was like, this is the one time I'll say thank you, Tottenham. You've done something useful. Like,
Yeah. I
um,
I went on YouTube and I wanted to see what some people were thinking about the game, and I found one Tottenham fan, and he got awful upset because he does not want Arsenal to take the
no,
lead. He said
no,
we've kept Arsenal out of the title for the last 2 decades or whatever. We have
yeah, they
eat
have
shit,
for two
Tottenham.
decades.
Yeah,
Sure,
whatever. Go back to mowing my lawn, dumb jerk. So yeah, it was kind of fun. The one time Tottenham wins is a
it helps
big help,
Arsenal.
big help to Arsenal.
Big help to Arsenal.
Still 5 points ahead
5 points ahead.
with a game in hand, and
Yeah, the
the
game in hand though is our first game against City.
so they're gonna have to play City. Well, they'll still have the game in hand against City because they're playing City now,
Yeah,
and that's to make up for the Queen's funeral, I believe, right?
yeah.
Yeah, when they had to get
No,
rid
it
of
was
all
the
those
weekend.
games. But you guys have
It
been
was the
playing so
weekend.
much,
The weekend just after the Queen's death, because we actually played the weekend of the Queen's funeral against
right?
Brentford.
Yeah, yeah. hmm Right.
So,
Uh,
yeah,
that'll be exciting.
that's
That'll be
coming up
exciting.
soon. That's February
That's
15th, I
Yeah,
believe.
I was going to say that it's about a week and a half away. Uh, Now, you want to talk a little bit about City's off the pitch problems?
Oh, let's.
Poor City.
Oh
Only,
yes, poor City. I feel
yeah.
so terrible for them.
Somehow they found one or two problems with the way City has been
113.
113 ways that City has not given out their financials quite correctly.
Hmm.
Charges including not even putting Mancini's salary on the books, not putting players' whole salaries on the books. I
Yeah,
don't know how this took 4 years to figure out this stuff, but they were investigating them for 4 years
yeah,
between 2009, 2018, all these things. Now, uh, they are going to get levied something,
yep.
but what will it be? We were talking a little bit before we started recording, and yes, I definitely think that they're going to get a transfer ban. I think that goes without saying. How long it will go will be up for debate. Like, do they? They should give them a transfer ban for 9 years. For every year they had to investigate. That'd be so funny. I'd love
That would
it.
be funny. That would be
Yes.
funny.
Now, it could go as high as uh, retroactively taking away points, which would give which would
Not
trip
just
them a three.
retroactively taking away points, but taking away points this season too. I
Yeah,
heard is a possibility.
yeah. I think that's a little tougher, but
Yeah,
yeah, those other
I,
ones, like I said, why? Who gives a shit? Like they're gonna give
yeah,
the titles. They're gonna give another 2 titles to Man U and a title to Liverpool. It's like they didn't win it. Like they're not gonna have
yeah,
a parade for it. Man City already had the parade. Like
yeah,
yeah, it makes no sense to do that. It's ridiculous. Uh, the relegation, the relegation penalty would be remarkable. I don't think, of course, that it will happen. I think,
I don't think
yeah,
it'll happen at all.
no,
No.
I could see,
I
yeah,
would laugh so hard if it did,
yeah.
but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Have fun versus Sheffield Wednesday, and
Yeah,
where are the player? Like you can only have so much money in the yeah. I don't know, whatever. It's not gonna happen. It won't happen. I
it's
don't
not
even
gonna
want to think about
happen.
it. It'll give me warm thoughts while I fall asleep tonight. If it did, like just
Yeah,
thinking about it happening would make my heart sing a little bit. I can't lie. And what does Pep Guardiola do? He was on
Well,
record saying like stuff
yeah,
like if they were lying to him and stuff like that, he would quit.
yeah, we'll
He ain't
see if
quitting.
Pep
He ain't
was.
quitting.
Yeah, Pep's not going to quit.
Yeah.
We'll see if he does, though. That would be something
If
massive
he
as
quit,
well.
every other manager in the league is going to fire their manager, 100%, just to get a shot at him. Just to get a shot.
Yeah,
Maybe not Man U. I think they like Ten Hag.
I
Would Chelsea
don't
get
think.
rid of Graham Potter for him? Probably.
Yes,
Hmm.
I don't think Arsenal will get rid of Arteta.
No, they're so similar. They're so like you could tell Arteta where he learned his formations and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
could tell.
yeah,
And of course, he had a great career as well, but playing. But yeah, you can tell that he is a student of Pep Guardiola. You can
yeah.
see it every time he goes out on the pitch. Um, it
Of
would,
course, all of this stems from the football leaks. Portuguese
yes.
hacker hacking the emails of several football teams and organizations and giving all that information to Der Spiegel, who published it in 2018.
Der Spiegel.
And
Yeah.
that had, of course, we've been here before with Man City and UEFA over that information. They
Yep.
got the 2-year ban. The Court of Arbitration for Sport overturned it because it was outside a 5-year period, most of the evidence.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, the Premier League has not been bound by that 5-year time limit.
Nope.
And I did read that if there is an appeals panel that this could go to once this independent commission makes its verdict, and then after that there'd be arbitration, and then if that were all to fail, somebody could try to take it to the High Court. But due to the Premier League rules, the city cannot appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport on this.
Nope. They have to take it.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Good on them. Oh, poor City.
Yeah, poor City. Feels
Everyone
so
wants to
terrible
whine about
for them.
how Chelsea does their business. Well, all our stuff had to be on the books. We were sold.
Yeah.
All our stuff. So, and you look like we talk about all the money. You talk about all the money Chelsea's brought in. I think there's 3 other Premier League teams that still have more money like every week than us. I think United has more. I think Liverpool has more. Man City, of course, Barcelona. Like I think we're like 6th or 7th highest. We're about 403 million, which is a lot, but we're not the highest, guys.
Yeah.
And what happened with the getting rid of Roman or whatever, it changed the way we had to do business, and we had a transfer ban. We had all this stuff when we had to clean up, and it's getting cleaned up. Except, of course, no striker. Now, we predict what we think is going to happen every week. I can tell you the week before the layoff, Adelia Chamberlain won 5-3. 5-3. You got that draw between Chelsea and Liverpool, and I think that was a big one. I couldn't get myself to do it, I remember, and that cost me. Now this past week, again, low scoring, but
yeah, we did make our predictions for this past week. I'd like to point out,
yeah,
just not on a show because we didn't have a show.
yes, right. We did it in super secret, and we cheated, and that's why the final score was 3-2. Final score, not very high, guys.
No.
Thank goodness I chose Wolves to get their revenge over Liverpool. That seemed to make the difference. Now, we got stuff coming up, even starting Wednesday.
Yeah.
The first of 2 times Man U will face Leeds this week.
This week. Yeah. This
home and
schedule
home
is
series.
so weird this year.
They're going to be staying at each other's houses.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you got? Do you have an informed Man United or a rudderless Leeds?
Man United.
Oh, that's surprising.
That should be.
I'll take your word for it. You sold me. I'm going to take Manchester as well. Now, we have West Ham fresh after getting a result. Not a point is a result. Out of Newcastle, they get to take my Chelsea on, who's actually had a week worth of practices with all their players in.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
I don't
I was
trust
going to say,
Ham.
how dare you to even hesitate? But the next game is going to be pretty interesting, I think. Mm-hmm. Your Arsenal versus the Bees of Brentford.
Arsenal.
Yeah, you're at home.
Yeah.
Even
They will play better, hopefully, than they did against Everton. I'm expecting them to, so.
They've looked really good. They look really good lately. Do I? No, I think you guys are going to be so pissed off after that result. You guys are going to take it out on them. I get it. Okay. Palace at home to Brighton.
Brighton.
It's going to be hard to pick Palace here. Really like Brighton. Yeah, we're so far we're on the same thing. But let's go. Fulham, Forest. This is at Craven's Cottage.
Fulham.
Forest doesn't like to lose or win away from home, but maybe I'll take Forest in a draw. Maybe I think they can draw Forest.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay, yes, that'll be a draw. Okay, well, we have Leicester taking on the Spuds.
Tottenham. I did forget to mention this when we were talking about that game, but it was interesting to me that Tottenham puts in a performance and gets a win when Antonio Conte is not on the sideline.
No shit. No shit. Yeah. Little bugger. I'm going to take Leicester. They're at home. I think Tottenham's due for one of their letdowns.
Probably.
Now, yeah. Southampton's at home against the recently informed Wolves.
Wolves.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with you there. Yeah, look really sharp. Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Is this just what Newcastle needs? A trip
Newcastle
to Bournemouth. That's what I'm picking as well. We got the rematch now. Leeds and Man U this time. And Leeds.
I figure Leeds will probably have a new manager for sure by that game. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they'll have one by Wednesday, but they'll definitely have one by that game. I still don't think they beat Man United, though.
No. They're going to have that one chance. They've just seen them. Yeah, I'm going to take a draw.
Okay.
I'm going to take a draw. And then we got City taking on Aston Villa, who just fell out of form.
City.
It's at the Etihad.
I'd love Aston Villa to get a performance.
I think it'd be funny.
And win.
I think it'd be funny. Now, do you trust Liverpool to win the Merseyside derby at home?
I'll go for a draw.
I like it. I am going to pick Liverpool. I can't, in good conscience, say that Everton could win.
I don't think Everton can win, but I don't have confidence that Liverpool can.
No, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I'm still going to take them. Okay. Well, that's it for the week here, guys. We're caught up.
We are caught up. If you are interested at all, we are having a Super Bowl day here on the channel on Sunday, the 12th. Starting at the other kind of football. 3 p.m. Pacific, we have a pregame stream episode of Good Friends Better Rivals with Ferris and Caleb. Immediately following that, we're having a watch along of Super Bowl, whatever it is, 40. Mm-hmm. I don't know what number it is. 50 something.
Nobody knows. They stopped counting.
It's 50 something. I know they're past 50. It's 50
something.
And then after that, about a half an hour after the Super Bowl is over, we'll be having a big post-game discussion with the guys from Lunch Break Hot Take and Ravens Online on Gatekeepers. So that'll be a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel if you're at all interested in that, and join us on Sunday. Snark, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me snickering myself to sleep tonight, thinking about Man City's misfortunes. You can also find me maybe on Twitter, if I ever take a look at it, at Snark Yeti. And what's the other thing called? Hive? I think it's just
Hive.
Snark there. Like the name says, wherever it is, right there. Other than that, you can find me back here this week, next week, on the starting 11, and hopefully at some point, LGR after Snark will be starting up yet again.
Yeah. To To watch LGR After Snark, you have to be one of our patrons at patreon.com/LGR_network. $1 a month gets you into the Discord. We have a few higher tiers than that to get you more goodies, including first time watches with Adelia. We watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail in January. I was not a fan.
What?
But we'll have a reaction to that coming on the other YouTube channel of ours, just the Let's Get Ready Network channel, which is youtube.com/@LGR_network. That will be coming soon whenever Danny can get that edited. He's working on some other stuff at the moment, so we're a little behind on that. But we'll be back here next week, 3 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday, to talk about the week that was in the Premier League, and who knows what other news will have broken by that point. So
We'll see.
until next time, bye.